Bobby, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to do the logo thing and we'll get started.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're here with Bobby Hardin Jr. today talking about the short film Ulterior. How did you get involved in this film?
Well, actually, this is a very interesting story. Well, one day I was out with my friends and we were actually doing some thrift
Mhm.
shopping. And out of nowhere, I got a message on a roll call about a superhero show. And whenever I originally had looked at it, I was kind of caught off guard because I hadn't really been using roll call that much. Originally, but now I've been using it a lot more and looking into it. It's a very great casting site. But they reached out to me and asked me if I want to be a part of it. They asked me to send them a demo reel of stuff that I've done in the past. And then after that, I got casted for it. And since then, I've been a part of most of the process leading up to where we are today.
Awesome. So what I've seen, is that just one episode of a series, or is it the only thing that's filmed with the plans to do more later?
Yeah, so right now that is a pilot episode, just a concept episode of what the show will be turning into.
Awesome.
So there is more that is being put together right now.
Tell our audience what the show is about.
So the show is about a kid named Jason, who actually had a mother from another planet and a father from Earth. And basically, his mom died giving birth to him. And through that, his father had to separate from him due to the fact that the government is out looking for him. And as time goes by, as he grows up with basically one of his dad's friends. And he starts, as he gets older, to start learning more about his powers, experiencing things that he's never experienced before. And basically, right now, in the actual pilot that we filmed, it basically starts from the moment where he actually meets his father for the first time. And he basically saves him from being killed by the operative that we had come in that scene. And now leading forward, there's more mysteries and more things that are going to happen. You get to experience more of Jason's power. You get to see more sides of him, and as he grows up, to learn more of the power. So it's basically putting you in the experience of actually being there with him, so you can learn more about him and basically feel what he's feeling.
Are you actively filming more episodes, or is that just still in development?
That is actually in development. I'm not sure the exact date that we plan on
Mhm.
filming, but the actual film date will be coming soon. So,
Was this done prior to COVID then, I'm imagining, before COVID took
yes,
over the
sir.
world? Yeah. That makes filming very difficult.
Yeah, very.
So you're filming this in the Atlanta area, so there's all these, giant comic book movies being shot in Atlanta, and then you and your team are working on this very grassroots approach to superhero stories, which is super ambitious because anything with special effects, anything with stunts, like that's the stuff that independent film usually shies away from, but these guys wanted to tackle it head on. what
Oh,
was the
yes.
what was the process like, making this on set and getting involved? Did you get to do some of your own stunt work?
Yeah, so I got to do a little bit. Of course, there's more that we wanted to do, but with us doing it as a short and a small episode with such short time, um, we weren't able to do as much as we wanted to, which is where, and whenever we start filming the series, we'll have a lot more stunts, fight coordinations, wire works, all sorts of stuff like that. But experiencing it and doing it was really cool. We actually had to find a way. I did a landing scene
Hmm.
in the episode,
Yep.
and we had to find so many different ways to do it right. At one point, I was actually going to jump off the. So there were these stairs in the scene, and you'll see. But I was actually going to try to jump off and jump over, but the coordination for it, I couldn't land in the exact spot that I needed to land. So it made it a little bit difficult to get that part down. So we ended up working some magic and putting some things together, and we're able to actually get it to work out the way that we wanted it to.
In the opening credits, it says that it's in association with a comic book company. Is this based on a graphic novel?
Yes, it is. TMH Comics, Terrence Hancock, who's actually the producer of the whole entire
Hmm.
project. It's his comic book that he put together. had a writing team for, and he actually has issue 1 and issue 2 out,
Oh,
which
wow.
you can find on the website that he has listed in his bio.
So
But
was that published after you did the short or published before?
oh, published before.
Okay.
Like, this was published before I even got casted for it. He's actually been going out himself a long while back and was getting it promoted and put out there. And I guess people were telling him that he should make it into a show. And
So
from then on,
you could end up with your own action figure.
actually, well, actually, I can't say too much, but
Oh boy. All right, I'll get my wallet ready for eBay and get
yes, sir.
where so yeah, we can't talk too much about where it's going, but in this talk about the cast members that you got to work with and what was it like on what was the vibe on set like what was it, it looks like it was a fun shoot. It looks like it was, you know,
It
like
really
everything seems
was.
to be working. So usually when I see everything working in a short film, like they probably had some fun making it.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I remember I had came in for the first time, and this was my first time ever being in contact with the director, Ty Hunt. And I think it was the first day I worked with Fred, and me and him had the scene where we were in the office, the therapist office. And I just remember how it was kind of like one of my first times really being on a set to where I was the main, because I've had other projects where I've been a part of, and I haven't been like the lead character. This was the very first time, so I knew that there were high expectations going in, but I knew at the same time just to relax and have some fun while I was on set. But the chemistry, honestly, as soon as we got out there, we talked for a minute, and then once we started getting to work, everything started flowing smoothly. We were hitting our marks, and it really just overall it was fun. It felt real the whole entire time that we were there, and Fred was great to just work with in general. And then the second day is where I met Gene and I met Andrew, and also Nicholas, who is actually the mini version of me in the show. But basically, working with all of them, doing the scene, watching them work. That's whenever more of the action was coming in, the chase scene, and everything like that. But being able to watch that and see that, talk to them, and just work with them in general, it was just amazing.
When what's the response been to the series from people you showed it to? Like how do people receive this project?
So I remember whenever we actually first dropped the episode, and actually started. People were asking for more. They wanted to see more. They were trying to figure out what was going on with the story, where things
Hmm.
were headed. And once we started seeing that feedback, because we wanted to put it out first, see how it was going to do, but our response rate for it was actually incredible, which actually got us to drive to actually push it as a show. Originally, it was going to be a movie, but
Okay.
people wanted to see more of it, so we decided to go with the show route with it.
And if it's based on a comic book property, then there's probably lots more story that he has planned. So as a
Oh
series,
yeah.
it could go for a while. Tell me about how you got into acting. Did you train in school for acting? What path did you take to get started?
So originally in high school, I was actually a football player. I played at Harrison, and that's based in Kennesaw. I actually over summer practice ended up getting hurt, and I had to wear like it was a sling. Well, I wouldn't say it was a cast. It was a sling that I had to wear for my shoulder because I injured my shoulder during practice. And during that time, I really couldn't do anything besides watch Netflix. So really, acting wasn't a thing that I was into originally, but after watching a couple shows and just seeing, how things flowed, and I just started watching Prison Break and The Flash were the two shows that really got me into it. But whenever I started watching those shows, I was kind of like, okay, like I kind of want to give this a try. So I've done it in the past before whenever I was small, but I had some instances of me just being super nervous, and it kind of made me fade away from it. But now coming back, I'm getting older. I started seeing more, learning more, and I have an embarrassing story. I had to do a. It was a. I don't know if you know Austin Powers. The opening scene. I can't remember the exact movie, but he's dancing in the city,
Yeah, I
and
think
yeah,
it's
and
the
doing all that.
second one, maybe the second
Yeah, I
one
think
starts that
so.
way. Yeah.
And my parents told me, they said, if you really want to, act, I want you to put together this performance and present it to us. So I literally sat there. I think it took me an hour because this is my first time ever performing in front of my parents, which, like I said, they are gonna judge the hardest, in my opinion. They, they'll let me know everything that I'm doing right and wrong and stuff like that. So whenever I put it together the first time, it was so embarrassing. I could hear it in my voice. I couldn't even get the lines out. My dancing was awkward. They have a video of it, and I hope that they don't ever show it, but they have it. They said just in case. But they basically had that video of me, and after that, they were like, "Okay, well, let's go ahead and get you started with some classes." So I started just getting involved with practicing monologues downstairs in front of
Hmm.
them to get started. And then they started sending me to acting classes. And then I was told to start doing some background work to actually understand the industry, which is where I came across Legacies, which was actually one of the first major sets that I was on. And the first day I got there, I actually got a call. I was just playing video games or whatever. I got a call from them, and they said they needed somebody to be on set because I had originally applied to do the background
Hmm.
work, but didn't hear anything back. So they called me out of nowhere, and they said they needed me like right now. And keep you in mind, I'm about an hour and like 15 to 20 minutes away from this place. So I had to, as soon as I left, I headed straight over there. And when I got there, I had to sit there and I was trying to figure out what was going on because, like I said, this is my first time on a major set. I
Yep.
didn't know where I was going, who I should be talking to, all sorts of stuff like that. So I started meeting some people along the way. We went out. We were about to start shooting the scene, and I get out there, and they started placing people, and I didn't really know where to be placed. So I kind of just went to my own spot because nobody really gave me a place. And while I was there, I didn't realize this at the time, but the actual director of that episode had came up to me and told me he wanted me to stand in a different spot. So I stood in that spot, and I realized that there was a stand-in next to me, but I didn't realize that that was a stand-in at the time. I thought that was just, another extra that was out there. And this is where I met Quincy Faust, who had the stand-in at that time. He came in, and I realized like they were bringing all the cameras and stuff out there, and I was like, "Oh snap! Like I'm right here, like in front of like the camera and the scene and everything like that." So that was really my first time really being involved, actually being in front of the camera. And the scene came out great, and I enjoyed it. On opening night, they had the first episode showing for Legacies at a theater, and we were able to watch it. But it was cool seeing myself up there, and then from then on, I've been doing auditions and just being a part of different projects, and it's led me to where I am today.
I think that's exciting. I've always heard that being a stand-in is a great way to experience. If you want to know anything about filmmaking, because you're literally stood right there and get to watch and hear everyone talk, the directors, the camera crew, the lighting team. You sort of get a sense of the whole set just by being there. So that's a pretty fun, exciting route.
Yes,
I was
sir.
gonna I was gonna joke with you and say like, well, we spoke to your parents and we have that video clip and we're going to play it right now, but we're not that cool of a show. We can't pull those resources, but
Well, I'm
maybe I can
glad.
get the folks at Reveal to reach out to your parents. It could be bonus footage on the
Ooh.
ulterior page.
Well, I'll talk to them.
have you signed up for Reveal? Have you had a chance to poke around the site?
Yes, I have. Actually, recently, besides me watching Ulterior, of course, on there,
Hmm.
um, two shows that I've been really interested. Well, not really show. One is a movie. Uncanny Harbor is a brand new one. I think they just added on there, and I
I know it
really
well.
enjoyed.
I know it well. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
really
seen
enjoyed
it.
it.
Yeah, it's very well put together. It's a very unique take on the sort of like missing persons case and with the sci-fi slant. It's a really interesting movie.
Yes, sir. And
What else have you watched on there?
um, let's see. I think the other one was I can't quite remember the exact name of it, but it
Hmm.
was about the little girl in school who was having the issues of
Snowflake.
yeah, Snowflake. That's exactly what it was. Yeah,
Really, really well done. When
yeah.
she launches into that rap in front of her class, I was like,
I was like, okay.
I was like, who is this actor? Because that's not just acting. Like that kid can rap. Like she's
Yeah,
got it in her. I was like, I could definitely see a career for her split between acting and performing if she meets up with the right music producers. But yeah, that film really impressed me.
yes, sir.
This is what I love because I'm also a filmmaker. So being part of the Reveal community, like it's been one of the greatest ways to connect with other filmmakers, other creatives, and just see so much exciting content that maybe I wouldn't have seen elsewhere if it wasn't
Oh,
for
yeah.
Reveal. But I mean, you must find that too. Like you're finding new eyes on Ulterior that wouldn't have found it anywhere else, and it's just such an exciting it's an exciting time for indie film, I think, to be involved in something like Reveal. So
Oh, yes, sir.
yeah, I'm really happy I had a chance to talk to you today. Don't have any other questions. If there's something else you want to share or tell us about the making of this film, by all means, the stage is yours. Happy to keep talking if there's something else that comes to mind.
Oh, well, I guess I will plug in the show itself and, myself, of course. You can find me on Instagram at
Hmm.
my name, Bobby Hardin Jr. And our TV show page, which is a brand new page we put together, is just called Ulterior TV Show, TV series, I'm sorry. And that's where you'll be able to find some of the behind the scenes stuff, things that are going on, and stuff that'll keep you updated on what's to come with the actual show.
I'm gonna follow them both for sure.
Yes,
Bobby,
sir.
thanks for making the time. Thanks for talking with us. And hopefully as the show continues, more episodes will end up on Reveal and any other projects and shorts you're involved in. I hope you tell those filmmakers to submit to Reveal, and then we'll have you back on the show at some point to talk about all the things you're up to.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right, appreciate your time. Have a good evening.
All right, you as well.